would deliver. Man has a passion for justice.
That's wonderful.
So,
But no more trouble from you, partner.
I promise you this was all. However, I want to thank you from the bottom.
Good citizens of Rhodes, we welcome you.
well, we're just honored to...
Lead and lost their dignity.
How terrible. Come along now. I will keep this fellow on the straight and narrow.
Bo, these better be ugly rumors. Is it true you were seen talking to that wretched Penelope Braithwaite?
I can't thank you enough.
Where have you been?
Around.
And where you staying?
I'm renting a caravan on the edge of town behind the church. It's horrible, but no one comes looking. The whole town is trapped in this interminable feud between the two families. His lot, Gray's, and Braithwaite's.
Interesting.
Two old plantation houses. And that's
Jose, find out about that.
I have missed you, boys. I've heard. They're good bounties.
Where you hear this?
Some fellas I met at a camp near the state line said there was talk of it in bars in the north and west for 500 miles. There was talk of super agents of some sort.
Super agents. I'd love to meet one. It's just talk.
I'm sure it is, but I couldn't not tell you.
Stay out of trouble.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, so these two plantation families. Arthur, you start sniffing around the Gray's place, see what the story is there.
Yeah, I passed by it earlier with our friend, Archibald.
Good. Hosea, you see what you can find out about these Braithwaites.
All right. Thank you, Arthur.
Quite a fishing trip.
There's still time. I'm up for it.
How about you, Arthur? Or have you had enough of the chase for one day?
Sure, why not?
Great. Hosea, why don't you lead us to that spot you were talking about? I kinda like this place.
Okay,
Just heard Jenny's place.
let's see if we can avoid any more excitement. All right, gentlemen, follow me.
So how far is this creek?
It's a bit of a ride still, and it's not a creek. It's the same lake we camped on, just a different pipe. It'll be worth it. I saw some big drum and sturgeon there. Should be rock bass, bluegills, perch, pickerel too. It's a good spot.
We'll see if you're as good at catching fish as you are at catching criminals, Arthur.
Trelawney owes me for that.
Trelawney owes everyone for something, but his information is good.
Plus, we are now ingratiated with the local law. I'd say it was a worthwhile diversion all around.
Trelawney's like a bad penny.
I'm not sure how good a magician he is, but he's certainly good at disappearing when he feels like it.
Where does he go?
Everywhere and nowhere, it seems. We wouldn't have got Sean back if he hadn't been weaseling around down that way, though.
Hey, Dutch, remember that time you found him in the outhouse?
Oh, yeah. We hadn't seen him in weeks. We stopped in some dead-end town in the middle of nowhere. Don't even remember the name.
You and Bill were off doing something, Arthur.
So, we pick up some supplies. I go to relieve myself. Open the door, and there's Trelawney, sitting there. Ah! Newspaper in hand. Mr. Vanderlyn. I say, what the hell are you doing here? And he said, I could ask you the same thing. Now, if you wouldn't mind giving me a little privacy, I ate a rotten oyster.
Hey, maybe there are actually 100 Trelawneys.
What a terrible thought.
So, You're going back to see that Sheriff Craig?
Yeah, I don't see why not. They don't know who we are down here.
He didn't seem the sharpest attacks. Neither did that deputy.
If he thinks we can be useful to him, he can certainly be useful to us. A little hiding in plain sight.
I feel like we're always hiding in plain sight.
But sometimes more smartly than others.
This is the spot. Down to the left there.
Easy.
I saw some boats around last time. Be good to get to deeper water. Yes, over there on the shore. I'm sure nobody would mind if we borrowed one of these. Come on. This looks like a fine vessel.
Okay. Come on, Arthur. Let's get her in the water. Oh, oh.
I got a good feeling about fishing here. It's supposed to be some incredible sturgeon.
Oh. Okay, here we go. Let me row. You boys are too old for real labor no more.
You're too dumb for anything else.
You're still too quick for me, old man.
I enjoy picking on children. Now take us to the deeper water and pray for good luck and stupid fish.
But what about stupid luck and good fish?
That'll do, too. Keep going. I think here's good.
All right. Good luck, gentlemen.
Should really come here at dawn or dusk. That's when you catch the best fish. We should use a lake lure. That'll give us a much better chance of hooking something big like a sturgeon.
What's wrong with a good old worm?
Oh, worms are good for tiddlers like bluegill and rock bass, but you'd have to be real lucky to catch a sturgeon with one.
Lures it is, then. You heard the expert, Arthur. Let's bait up.
Keep the lure moving slowly on the water so it looks like a little fish just asking to be eaten. You got a bite.
Just gotta reel him in now, Arthur.
That feels like a bite. Got one. Ah, I should have had that one.
Hey, look at this beauty.
There you go.
Well done, Arthur.
They can grow a lot bigger than that. Fella told me he once saw a monster lake sturgeon near the mouth of the river, just southwest of Saint Denis. 50-pounder, he reckoned.
I would like to see that. Hey, Hosea, remember that time we sent Arthur out fishing? He came back with 3 beautiful bass.
Not this again.
I don't think I do.
Oh, yeah, you do. He was maybe 20, 21, walked in all full of himself. We had a big feast, toasted him all night.
This was 15 years ago.
Oh, I remember now.
Then, the next week, Arthur and I are at the market, and Fishmonger calls out, "So how did you enjoy those bass?"
Look, you can fish, or you can go drinking all day, rob someone, and buy some fish.
You're getting the hang of this.
I used to go fishing with this feller back in the day. Wesley, his name was. Real miserable bastard, but he loved to fish. We go out all the time. But one day, we were river fishing when we see a funeral procession going over the bridge, and out of the blue, Wesley stands up, takes off his hat, bows his head. Then he sits down, picks his rod back up, and carries on. Doesn't say a word. So I'm a little surprised and say, "Wesley, that was nice of you." And he replies, "Well, felt I had to. After all, I was married to her for 30 years.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, dear God. I might swim to shore.
Ha! Got ya!
Arthur's got a bite.
Now reel him in, Arthur. Remember those big salmon I caught in Montana last year? We had a banquet planned that night until Copper went and scoffed the lot.
You never had control of that dog.
He had some spirit, though. Never lost the puppy in him, right to the end.
You know, I remember us saying how Blackwater was the furthest east we'd ever been. As a group, I mean.
Feels like the more we try to head west, the further east we end up.
We had all those safe spots picked out to lie low in New Austin after the ferry job.
I liked it there. Still open and wild, the way it should be. Somehow the desert makes you feel closer to the sky.
No point us trying to get back that way anytime soon. Pinkertons had patrols out all over tall trees and Great Plains. We saw when we went back for Sean.
Well, look at us now, huh? It could be worse. Plans change. That's just how life goes. Did I ever tell you my mother's buried in Blackwater?
Really? She is?
Apparently so. I only found out from an uncle of mine years later. Last I knew, she was still outside Philadelphia. I left home at 15 and didn't see her again. She and I didn't always see eye to eye. I wasn't always a very obedient child.
I can only imagine.
Still, I loved her in my own way, and she me in hers. Somehow, even from the grave, she managed to have the last laugh.
Looks like you got a bite, Arthur. There we go. Nicely done, Arthur. That'll grill up nice.
Hey, I reckon we call it a day, fellas.
Already?
You ain't been chasing down outlaws.
All right. Think we got a decent haul here. Pearson will be happy. Should we head back?
We could keep the boat not too far back to camp from here.
Good idea. Could be useful.
What about the horses?
Well, they'll find their way back.
Just follow the shore south, Arthur.
That was fun. Thank you, boys. Now, Hosea,
Yes.
how about a song?
Okay. All right, I got one for you. I asked that gal to give me some.
I asked that gal to give me some. She says, wait till the taters is done. I couldn't wait till I couldn't wait till the taters was done. Threw her on the floor and knocked off some. I wish to God I'd passed her by. I wish to God I'd passed her by. Tater got burned and so did I.
That was pretty good. But you know, what song we should be singing?
What?
Look at us.
Of course.
Well, we three poor mariners newly come from the seas. We spend our lives in jeopardy while others live at ease. Shall we go dance this round, around, around? Shall we go dance this round, around, around? And he that is a bully boy, come pledge me on this ground, 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 ground. We care not for the martial men that do our states disdain, but we care for the merchant men that do our states maintain. To them we dance this round, around, around. To them we dance this round, around, around. And he that is a bully boy, come pledge me on this ground, 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 ground.
Oh, bravo! Bravo! Well, you know, We should not let the folks back at camp think that we had too much fun.
Indeed not.
All right. I think we are gonna be okay. I know. I always know. Whenever I got you two by my side, things are gonna be just fine. This place will be good for us. For now, anyway.
I hope so.
Well, I am going to take in the view.
I'll give these fish to Pearson.
Arthur, how you been? I've been real worried.
What do you want?
Don't be like that. Just a few bucks. I'm short.
Get lost.
Well, I'll go try someone with a heart.
You do that. Okay, I'll catch you later then.
Yep.
How's it going?
Morning, Arthur.
Never knew you were so good at dominoes, Arthur.
So, what do you think of this place?
Not bad. Nice to be by the water.
Yeah, it'll do for now.
So how are you? Oh, I've had better days.
It'll be all right.
Fire's good and hot, Mr. Morgan.
You saw those fish Hosea dropped off?
I did. Looks like a successful trip.
It didn't start off so good.
Can I tell you something?
Always.
I'm frightened, Hosea. Real frightened.
Of what?
Pinkertons, bounty hunters.
Don't forget to go hunting, Mr. Morgan.
We've been in bad situations before, but
Like my whole life's
You
been
overcooked
one
this
long
now.
bad
Good job,
situation.
Mr. Morgan.
I know, my dear.
I'm sleeping, Arthur.
I mean, he's always found a way, but lately
I know, dear. Seems we don't have a choice but to drive this train to the end of the line. If I were you, think of the boy and make plans.
Yep.
You think all this Lemoyne air is free? For you?
Don't want any trouble. Just passing through.
You look like you might need a few smacks to set you straight.
You threatening me, you pissant?
Stupid bastard's got a problem with authority.
At least...
You're done for!
I guess I was told. Yep. Hey, mister.
Fine morning, partner.
Yeah.
Of course, of course. Oh, and here is my dear friend, Arthur Callahan. Boy is a hunter. Boy is a killer. Arthur, you've met but not been introduced to Mr. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sheriff Gray.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine.
Tough business you boys had.
We did?
Oh, there's no need to pretend with me, sir. Life can be tough.
So it can.
And no man owes another anything.
No, sir.
But still, I feel you were hard done by. Losing your employment like that. But still, here in Rhodes, we have work enough for honest men.
Ah, that's some strong stuff. Still, don't seem to be doing you any harm, I guess.
Exactly.
Whoa.
Excuse me a moment.
I told you we was moving up in this world. Deputies.
You have finally lost your mind.
Amongst these drunkards, hillbillies, and slavers? Good honest thieves like us. We're bound to be moralizers in a place like this. Oh, Sheriff Gray, you are back.
Now listen, sir. There is shine in them woods, though, and it is costing this county its good name and the state a whole lot of income. You boys wouldn't mind rooting it out. Maybe we'll make you permanent. I gotta set me down a second.
Not a problem, sir. Not a problem at all. You are in safe hands now. And people waste time with the temperance movement. Liquor never dulled a good man's senses. Arthur, you ride with the deputy. Bill and I will follow.
Climb on up. Let's go. Come on, we need to get moving.
Archibald?
How are you?
Pretty good.
And your friend is behaving himself?
Oh, yes. I think he's learned his lesson.
Congratulations on becoming a temporarily deputized citizen of Scarlet Meadows County. Most towns just get bounty hunters to do their dirty work these days, but Sheriff Gray believes the law should keep the law. Now, I'm sure I don't need to remind you, there's a chain of command here.
There is?
Dang straight there is. This is a dangerous business, but follow my lead and you'll be just fine.
Sure. Hey! Archibald wants to remind us he's in charge here.
Of course!
Who else would be?
You were a big help with them Anderson boys, and I put in a very good word with the sheriff on your behalf.
We appreciate that.
We rounded up the others soon after. I'm pushing for the rope myself, but that's by the by.
So, these moonshiners.
Not just any moonshiners, Braithwaites. I told you about the Braithwaites?
Pretty sure you did.
Old Cotton family had a fortune at one point until, well, a few changes in the labor laws. Now they're dealing in moonshine. We found their stills hidden all over Lemoyne. Quick as we destroy one, another one pops up. You could call it a pitiful fall from grace, if they had any grace to start with.
I have no time for tax dodgers.
Not to mention the fact that Catherine Braithwaite has a rather expensive interest in thoroughbred horses to maintain.
But I heard something about it being gold these families were fighting over.
Well, that's the rumor. But the Grays and the Braithwaites think the others stole a fortune. but it happened so long ago, I don't know for sure if it's true.
Must be tough being rich, huh?
So I imagine.
That bad rather suits you, Mr. W.
Yes. I thought so too.
Does it feel good to be back at it, serving your country?
I wouldn't go that far.
Whoa! Whoa! Hold up. You see that wagon? Dear me, that don't look good. Oh. Come on, mister. Keep your eyes open. No. This must have happened recently. Hey, come have a look at this. Look. Suit and tie. One bullet clean through the forehead. Well, my money says this is the handiwork of a gang called the Lemoyne Raiders.
Yeah, I've run into them.
Let's see if we've got any identification. Okay. We should get going. I'll send someone over here later to clean this up. Would you mind taking the reins? I want to have a look at these papers.
Sure.
I'll direct you. Okay. Frederick Mitchell. Lemoyne State Legislator. Poor feller. Yes, this certainly smacks of the Raiders to me. Bunch of ex-Army Free Staters without an ounce of respect for the law. That's 7 government officials they've murdered this year alone.
Yep. Not the nicest fellas in my experience.
Oh, and I know the Braithwaites are in business with them. No shame. Go right at the crossroads. Trash begets trash, my Uncle Reginald used to say. Hey, slow it down a bit. They're right again here. He had a few stories, let me tell you. Town preacher and town sheriff. Would drink a sailor under the table before breakfast. He had one tiny hand, like a child's, on the end of a grown man's arm. But anyway, this tells you what kind of people the Braithwaites are, selling moonshine to murderers. I tell folks don't even speak to them. Don't even look them in the eye. Here we are. So what was I saying?